What's up guys, welcome back from the Yugioh Pro Duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist, match number 5. And we have two older decks. The first group here being Group C, being the, like one of the groups with the older decks. Anyways, we have Chaos versus TeleDAD, the OCG zombie TeleDAD, Kintele Undead from like years ago, back in 2008. And Chaos being the oldest deck from the Cross-Banlist Cup from 2003, OCG build by the way. As you see here, right? So yeah, the zombie TeleDAD version changed it up a little bit with the side deck, the Royal Oppressions in the extra deck indeed, well side deck that is, and the main deck the Crows. And then for Chaos, not too many changes, although I did change the time seals in the main deck for, let me double check, I believe one extra Mystical Space Typhoon and Mirage of Nightmare. Some small changes in the side deck, but this side deck was pretty standard, I guess, with the jars, the Kaiku, Kiko, Kaisu, however you want to pronounce it, the Jinzu as well, the jars, Morphing Jar, Fiber Jar, Cyber Jar, either main or side decked, and the Metamorphosis, Premature Burial as well, Judgment of Anubis, who remembers that card? So which deck has the advantage? For me, I felt that before this particular matchup I was like, well, okay, we have two older decks, it feels a little bit 50-50. Again, older decks, and both decks are playing the like multiple banned cards and powerful cards. A lot of pre-errata cards as well, like for example Crush Card Virus immediately tried to blow my opponent away here, but as I like feared, Crush Card doesn't really do that much against zombie TeleDAD. I'm hitting, let's say, like maybe a Dark Arm Dragon, Mizuki maybe, or the, what's it called, the Zombie Master, but outside of that there aren't really big attack monsters in the potential hand, right? Maybe Crush Card on maybe the Synchro Summon of Brionek. That might be good to prevent the zombie TeleDAD of setting up monsters in the graveyard like Malicious or, well, Plague Spreader or Mizuki, discarding them from your hand, because Brionek pre-errata was just that disgusting. Not really sure if we in a TCG were able to play this deck at full force, as in, with Brionek, multiple Malicious, Mizuki, multiple Burial from a different dimension and so on. So here I feel that I should be like in a very solid position, even though we are both under Crush Card. And yeah, that's the thing with a good old Chaos, is that, okay, it's very similar, it feels very similar to Goat Control, is that, okay, I do have card advantage, but I like beat sticks, and that's where the Crush card comes into play, being able to destroy the BLS in my hand, so I don't think I'm able to Monster Reborn, and I shouldn't be, Again, it wasn't properly summoned before it was, well, yeah, after it was bounced back off of the Brionek. So Ring of Destruction prevents the Stardust from coming out. Stardust is quite big against especially older decks that rely on destruction, like cards like Raigeki, Heavy Storm, right? Sixth Sense, test my luck, but nope. Close but no cigar. I believe like milling the top 2 cards from the deck, and here maybe I should have kept the Monster Reborn, or maybe I should have used Monster Reborn on the Brionek, but in the long run, it doesn't really matter too much. Mirage of Nightmare is giving me the 4 extra draws, and because of the Mystical Space Typhoon set, I won't have to discard during my own turn. That's, the good old school combo with even emergency provisions, using it during your own draw phase or whatever, getting rid of Mirage of Nightmare, and you keeping those extra draws. So anyway, going second this time. Okay, the zombie deck did open like I believe fairly standard. I mean, there are multiple 2-card combinations leading into this particular field, and then depending on your your setup, your extenders, it depends, right? I mean, you can definitely want to end with Stardust against cards like Raigeki, or Mass Destruction cards like Dark Hole, which I believe is in the side deck here. But yeah, I definitely can like punish this particular field with something like Snatch Steal, Change of Heart maybe, and Enemy Controller in some way, but sadly I can't go for BLS, and that's basically the strength of, you know, zombie TeleDAD is quickly rush like all of those big beat sticks on the field, and this is actually a good play going for Red Dragon Archfiend, you know, even bypassing Scapegoat. So now I don't think I have any out, so no Mirror Force, no Torrential, since again the Stardust is on the field, and no Book of Moon, no Enemy Controller, because again multiple beat sticks, that's well over 10k of damage, and you know those cards definitely would not have kept the zombie TeleDAD deck from attacking. Anyway, I get blown away by a huge heavy storm, but it's fine. Mirage of Nightmare got me some extra draws, and again, because Mirage of Nightmare is not phase up on my side of the field, I believe it's during the standby phase, since again, yeah, I think you're able to get back Sinister Serpent and then, you know, eventually discard it again with Mirage of Nightmare's effect. But yeah, anyway, so getting those extra beneficial cards. But I think I got free information about the opponent's hand, or am I missing something? Yeah, because of the Crush card, indeed. So we know that the Crush card is coming, that's fine. Immediately, I think so, right? I did use Crush card, not really sure about it, I missed that one. But it's fine though, you get blown away by Crush card and definitely helps in getting the Dark Magician of Chaos pre-errata in the graveyard. So reborn it, you get back the Monster Reborn, you at least use Monster Reborn, get back another beat stick and going for Yatta as well. So that's, you know, like the format where both Dark Magician of Chaos and Monster Reborn were legal in the same format. That's how, you know, like Shenanigans was like. And Ring of Destruction pre-errata as well. You're able to, you know, use it even though your opponent is well below the amount of life points or the attack points of the targeted monster for a Ring of Destruction. So people who played during the good old school days definitely remembered Ring for Gain. So anyway, the Kiko, I definitely side deck like 2 copies here, because again, as you know, Kaisu or Kiko are very old school cards. If you have it face up on the field, your opponent is not able to banish cards from the graveyard or monsters from the graveyard. So in this particular case, no Malicious, no Mizuki, but again, yeah, Zombie TeleDAD is able to use Plague Spreader, but that's fine, since I still have Waboku on my side of the field, again, the card that I side decked in. And Waboku, as you know, it keeps the monster on the field even like after battle and no damage. And sadly, I believe Gatling Dragon wasn't allowed or wasn't out yet, so that's not in the extra deck, but I did have a potential out here with Brionek bouncing back the 2 synchros, or at least I tried, and using Metamorphosis on the level 6 Brionek, but again, in the long run, it's not going to matter too much because of Burial from a different dimension being broken as hell in good old school zombies. So we're going into a game number 5. Chaos opening up, and that's something that Chaos definitely wants to do with all of those power spells. And this is huge. Painful choice, immediately getting rid of 5 dead cards from the deck, setting up the Sinister Serpent, using Pot of Greed eventually, drawing in the Graceful Charity, and, you know, setting up my graveyard basically. And thanks to Forceful Sentry, was able to send back, you know, like first get free information about the opponent's hand and sending back the Crush card back to the deck. And I believe the next draw, indeed, yeah, card of Safe Return. But, you know, like I don't think I have to fear any traps, like maybe Royal Oppression or Skill Drain, but my big beat sticks are already on the field, and thanks to Witch of the Black Forest, I was able to search on another copy of Kaisu, of Kiko, and I feel that's just better in this situation compared to Yatagarasu, just, you know, getting rid of those Mizukis from the graveyard. So the Kiko, Kaisu, definitely putting in work against this particular deck, but yeah, the game number 5, you know, like it feels quite unfortunate opening up those triple Mizukis, but that's how it is. I mean, the deck definitely has multiple, like Zombie TeleDAD, definitely has multiple 2-card combinations, and depending on the extenders as well, of ending with that synchro board. But if you're able to add in, you know, like the zombie spell, that the card of Safe Return that lets you draw multiple cards every time a monster is special summoned from the graveyard, just makes it more cheesy and more ridiculous. But again, the card is at 2, or it is at 2 in the main deck, or yeah, in the deck list, so the chances aren't that high of eventually opening with it. So yeah, Chaos getting the 3 points and OCG Zombie TeleDAD getting the 2 points. Both decks still have chances to move on to the top 16 playoffs. The next match here we have Salmon Grades. The list is changed to Gabriel Susie's list from the European World Championship qualifier, and it's faced off, or it will be facing off Plant Links. Well, it's like a good stuff link. Make like some small changes to the list. It's not a Plant FTK, but it's, you know, good stuff link. Very similar of spamming out Firewall Dragon and Cherubini for Dandelion. So, you know, the shenanigans of the nightmares is definitely real. So feel free to leave your predictions top right corner and feel free to leave a comment down below. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.